Welcome crankers. This is a fast 10-minute video on how to do a toe up. So we'll get started right away, and I'm showing you that the side over here, those are the side marks on this particular machine, and my heel and toe marks are either in turquoise on the front and red on the back, and I'm going to be making the toe on the back because it's easier to hang to the front. So I'm putting up exactly half of my needles, running it back around to the back, and this is my cast on or my waste yarn. This is not the sock yarn. The sock yarn is going to be a white wool, and I wanted just a strong contrast in light and dark between it and the cast on yarn or the starting up yarn. So that's my first row, and I hand fed that in. And the reason is that you want it as loose as possible. That's the row you're going to be picking up and hanging. You want that to be as loose as possible as you do the second one. And you want it over all of your toe needles. You don't want to be shaping anything. That's why I'm wrapping that first needle behind the half mark on the side on both sides. Now, after having done that for 2 rows, then I start actually going into the shaping. I'm still feeding it in, not using the take-up wire. And that's so that they're loose enough and they can hang more easily. After 2 needles are lifted on each side, I put yarn in the take-up for the remainder of shaping the toe. When decreasing shaping, I lift the last needle knit for a decrease, but also it does an automatic wrap. The one set of LT weights that are in the pull down have been doing just a really great job so far, but now it's time to add a cinch and a soft weight without a tail so that have good visibility. That's a 2-pound soft weight with number 8 birdshot inside an acrylic lycra sock. So I'm going over there to the red marks, which are the toe marks. It brackets the last needle that I work for shaping the toe. And no, I don't use any hanging weights doing this. All right, so now we've got that done. The next step is to reverse it. But first, I need to cinch up my little choke up and readjust the weight so that it's to the front instead of going down into the sock. Now I'm doing a 1 up, 2 down, which is my usual. You can do whatever method you want. These are just suggestions. This is just the way I do it. So I raise 2, I put 1 down for an automatic wrap. 2 down and 1 up for an automatic wrap. And I just keep doing that all the way back to the side marks. And those are kind of a limey green on the bottom, and then on that top side mark up there has a little bit of dot of red on it. Helps me differentiate because sometimes I'm in cylinder drive, not in shell drive. I did the shell drive on this one so that everybody can appreciate, a little 10-minute lesson on how to shape a toe up so you can hang it. And now we are at the point where we need to think about how are we going to do this? Well, we need to do this pass, which will put us to that needle right in front of the side mark. And I'm going to lift it as normal on this go around and lift that one as normal. Now I'm going to keep working on that needle. I'm going to wrap it. do it twice. And now wrap this side and crank back around. Now I'm going to put it down and go back over, and I'll wrap the very last one, which is the one right behind the side mark. And then I'll wrap that one right behind the side mark. And I'm going to put this one into work to run it off. Then I'll lift it back up again and move it back around. Do the same to the other side. I do exactly the same on both sides. Okay, so now I'm back and I'm wrapped that around that one so that as I start to do the hang, I'll have a better understanding of which one to start with. So now you can see we've got the toe done. I'm taking the little collar off of it. At the bottom is a cable cup. You can get them at Home Depot for just a couple of bucks. There it is, cable cuff. Great way to use with your soft weights. All right, so what I'm looking at now is we're getting ready to hang the toe by, first off, lowering all the needles. And obviously we need to keep the yarn guide back, not necessarily to center back, but pretty close to it. You want all of your stuff out. No weights, no clips. You want to make it easy. Okay, so now remember that wrap that I did with that yarn. That's going to mark off, it'll be the next needle that I'll start with in getting a hold of. I'm showing you the tools that I use. You know, it's a double-ended tool and it helps me, and I will be putting that on that one that I wrap. That's my first needle that gets a purl bar, and that's what I'm going for, is a purl bar. And if you look really carefully, you can see that there's a row there of the waist yarn, and you're going for the one that's on the farthest, you know, it's closest to your needles, that row closest to your needles, and there should be a row of waist yarn to differentiate that row you're going for from everything else. Okay, we've done it on both sides now, and I've counted my needles, and I've counted how many stitches I have left. I have 2 extras, so I'm going to put them, double it up on those heel marks, those turquoise heel marks, and then just go in and fill it in. And now it's done. That's a toe up. That's a toe up and hung. Now I'm going to save even more time in terms of finishing work, because now we don't have a toe to close. Now I'm also going to weave in my tail. And the first one can kind of be a little difficult. I use just a small latch tool for this. And the last 2 that I do along the line of shaping will be to do a double, you know, like a little knot. And sometimes I'll do that once, sometimes I'll do it twice. Clip it about 1/2 inch long, and it's done. Now I'm going to make my first round, and this is real important. You want to make sure that those side needles around your side mark, the latches are open. They tend to want to close. You glance at that. I use my hand this first pass. I can move my hand away much faster than I can get a weight out. This is the waist yarn. Now would be a really good time to clip both sides of it, and it would make it easy removal for now or for later. That's a toe up.